Oh, hello there. Today we're making a house. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a plane and setting the X scale to 5 and the Y scale to 5. This is going to be the base of our house. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a cube. Then we're going to be turning on this tool right here, 'cause we're going to be using that a lot. Then we're going to be moving our little sort of cube thing over to here, and then over into the corner. For scaling it up, hey, that's funny. For scaling it up to be 4 times 5 in terms of size, and then putting the corner right here this way, and then increasing the size to 5, not 5, to 3, moving it up to here. 3 is too big, let's change it to 1.5. Yeah, that's a lot better. And just like that, we have first bit of our house. Next thing we're going to be doing is copying and pasting this, moving this up to here, changing this part, and changing this part to be 5. And going up to this top bit right here, and just moving this over so that way we end up with this. Now we're going to be taking all of this and we're going to be just hiding it before adding a new cube tab to X, for X vertices, 1 over to this, E, 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 G, Shift, click F. And now we have this. So ta-da! Now I just gotta do this again and move it over to here before filling in the top bit and the bottom bit. Now that we have these stairs, just gotta move them over to here and C Command V, and then we're just gonna be moving them up so they reach up to there. Which will be, yeah, there. Then we're just gonna take this, Command C Command V, rotate it, so that way this becomes 180 and this becomes 0. Then we're going to move this over to here, and this one over to here. Now we're going to take all of this, Command J to create one solid thing, bring back these bits, move this over to here, but not just over to there, but over to here. Now this seems a little bit big, don't you think? It's like with the scale of the house and everything, it just seems very big. So let's scale this down 0.5 by 0.5 by 0.5. Oh, that's 5, not 0.5. Should be 0.5. And then moving and correcting it. now have our stairs. Ta-da! And we just fix them and rearrange them so that way they're right up against the building. But ta-da! We got our stairs now. See? Now we're going to add mesh cylinder. Move this one over to here. And set these measurements to 0.5, 1.5. And just move it all the way up. So that way we get, ta-da, two little bits right here. Now we can bring back the plane. Oop, we can bring back the plane. Sorry, kind of looking like a house. Don't you agree? Now, of course, we don't have any safety rails on this, so let's add mesh plane. Change this to 90 degrees, so that way it's facing up. Now we just gotta move it all the way over to here. Move it up to the top, right about here. Oop, right about here. Tab to this. Now we could just go with the boring, okay, move this over to here, move this over to here, move this up till it covers that bit, and then tab over to this, turn off snapping, and just and just move it over a tiny bit so that way we could be doing that, which does work and what I'm going to do for this video. There are other ways to do that, or to get this done. And then remember to turn back snapping for this, because that is a tool that we are using in this video quite a lot. So ta-da! Yeah, this, and then if you really want, you can increase this bit's size, so that way you end up with something that looks a lot more like this. Don't forget, add a solidify modifier, so that way it doesn't look just like a random plane. Now that we have all of this with a basic house, we can go up to the top here, command that, select top, 3, that, command B, create our bevels, over to here, E, up to create a bit of an indent on the roof. Then command R, command R, 5, put them that way, command R5, put them that way, and we divided all of this up into 5. Command R3, that way. Select this face, because we're going to be adding in windows now. So now we go this one, command B, create little bevels like this, command B, little bevels like this. You want them to be about as same as possible. It's okay if you don't get them to be the exact same. And well, you do end up with something that looks like this. You can then go through all of these. E, back one. Now we press tab. And Ta-da! Check it out, you got windows. We go into here, you have windows. Ta-da! Now we have to make a door. So let's add mesh cube. I know a lot of cubes, but don't worry. It's just gonna be alright. Tab. This face back here. This fit A. G. Move it up to here. This face right here. And moving this back to here. That up to there. Increasing the height of your door. And R. 5 or 6, it's up to you. 3 this way. And then selecting 3 for this. And B. Increasing that. 1, 2, 3, 4. E. Back one. Now we have this for a door, but this isn't really what we want. So we press 3, that, Shift Command that, over to here. Nope, G, this back to there. That, Shift Command that. Now we move this over to here. Now tab, add UV sphere. See, we can hide all of this if we want. Because right now we're just making our door. So moving this over to here and also scaling it down by quite a lot. We then move this part over to here. See what it looks like? Doesn't look all that good. So we can just get rid of that because we don't want it. If it doesn't look good, we don't want it. So now with this, I feel like this top face isn't really getting all that good, so just press off. Up. That, Shift Command that, Shift Command that. Yeah, so I'm just going to increase this part's size all the way up to there. And last little bit's then missing. So that way, I'm going to take this one, and this one, and just delete those faces. Now we'll go to 1, up, 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 F, that, that, F, that, F, that, ta-da! Got somewhat of a roof of a house. But now, what is a roof of a house without something up on the roof of the house? So, does that make sense? I hope it made sense. Otherwise, I'm just spouting nonsense into a microphone. Anyway. So, for this, then just got to do that. Tab. 3. Over to this. G. Over there. Tab. Add mesh. Cylinder. Z. G. Over to here. G. pivot, tab, 3, just select that bottom face, G, move it up, moving that down to there. Now selecting this top face, and B, bring the faces in, bring that over to there, G, E, bring it down a bit. So now that we have that, ta-da, the roof of the house. I feel like this is good enough for currently having stuff, and so now, what about subdivision surface modifier on this? It looks terrible, don't try it. Anyway, now we're gonna head over to here, make everything look pitch black. So we're gonna head over to here, create new material. This material is gonna be very metallic, so I'm gonna set metallic to 1, roughness to 0.1. Oh yeah, that, but that's too light of a roughness. Let's set it to 0.3. Yeah, that looks good. Now let's set the base color now to be more of a gray. See, doesn't that look good? Then this one we're gonna have to be the similar material, except going back to material 0.1, we're gonna be creating. Material 0.2. We're gonna be going to this, changing this down to a lighter gray, changing metallic back up to 1, changing roughness down to 0.3. So now that we have this as well, we now have the top little bits right here. Now that we have that, we're going to make this bit glass. So in order to get the glass finish thing that we want, we're going to turn on screen space reflections, we're going to turn on refraction, we're going to be going down to here, creating a new material, going down to settings in the material, turning on screen space reflections, then turning on transmission to 1, and setting our roughness, if I can find the thing, to 0. And just like that, we have glass. Ta-da! Now we're going to go over to this bit right here, and we want this one to be, should we do glass, or should we do, let's see what glass looks like. See what it looks like in here. You know what? I think I'm gonna make it this one glass, but I'm gonna make it glass, but I'm gonna give it some roughness, so that way it's like its own separate glass thing. And don't forget screen space reflections for this one as well. Now then, we have these bits. These bits are going to be stone. So in order to get a stone look, we want to increase roughness to 1. We want to increase metallic to 1. We want to go to this, change the base color down to be a bit more of a gray. Boom! Stone. This is going to be the color that we're going to be using for the entire base of the thing as a whole. So let's just quickly change it all to that. And this bit, yeah, we just change it to this as well. So, ta-da! House has been kind of colored. Ignore the fact that there is no back of this house. And we can go to here, tab, select this face, this face, this face, and this face. Create new, select the material for this one. It's going to be our glass 0.3 and assign. Now, ta-da! Check it out, we have glass. Glass windows. I'm going to go to this one. Create new material. We're going to be changing this one to be a bit more a lighter gray with the same 1 on roughness, 1 on metallic. And so now we then have to go to this tab, select this face, this face, this face, this face. Do the same thing. We're now going to be giving it the glass material this time. See? Ta-da! Now we have this sort of house thing that will need a bunch more detail to be added much later on. So you know what? You know what I'm feeling? You know what I'm feeling I do? I select this, E, nope, Z, E, one, tab this over to here, go back into this, and add, let's go with text. Change this to 90 degrees. Nope, it's not 90 that way, it's 90 this way and 0 this way. And then moving this over to here. I have to swap this one, so 180. Nope, there's 280. We don't want 280, we want 180. Now we go into tab, we delete all of this, we say, you know what? Let's say poop building or something. Okay, I got it. ATL. At Liz convenience. Now we're just gonna move dish back over to about here. And we gotta just change it so that way. Yeah, it's that way. 5.1. I think that should do it. Yeah, there we go. We got rid of that. But I feel like we could move it over a little bit. Just by like 1. Yeah, there we go. Now, should I change this? No, I don't want to modify. I don't want that. Yeah, let's get solidify. Just why not? Why wouldn't I get solidify? Let's change the font. Let's change the size to say 3. Okay, that's big. That's big. We want to keep it at 1. No. Okay, you know what? Yeah, let's just keep it. Let's just keep it like that. Why is this being moved over to here? This should be a 0, 0. Why is this being? Yeah, so why was that not at 0, 0? That should be at 0, 0. Okay. There we go. That was what was that? Anyway, now that we have this wonderful building, that'd be fun to add a flower pot. Add mesh cube. Down to here. No, not G, not G, not G. You want to press E. Flower pot. Or something. I don't know. I'll just bring that back. And move that over to also shrink this down quite considerably. Changing this to say like 0.2 by 0.2 by 0.2. Or I don't know, 0.2 by 1, probably. That'd be good. That'd be a better one. And moving this bit up to the top-ish. Is that right? That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. Oh, that makes it so much easier. Okay, there we go. Tab, open up that tab. Over to here. Going up to this, selecting this, adding this, creating, adding a material. Material will be that. Now we have this wonderful, lovely little house. So let's quickly change the world's background color to be just slightly blue. Why not make it blue? Why shouldn't things be blue? Let's change it to be a dark blue. Sort of a light dark blue. I don't know, does this look good? I'm gonna say it looks good. And with that, we have a house. We could, if we want, add a light sun point. Turn these back on. Move dish up to here, rotate this so that way this is pointing this way, go up to here, move this over to here, and rotate this so that way the sun is facing that way on this. And ta-da, we now have that. So yeah, let's hide this, hide that, and just admire the thing that has been made. That will be right here. If you have anything you want to see added to this house, then comment that down below. I will see you later.